So this is episode 2 of the podcast, the Eggs Room, not eggs, the X Room podcast, which is kind of a stupid name in all honesty. Mr. X Reacts is also a stupid name, considering, I got the name Mr. X Reacts from my previous name, which was Anime Explain, which I copied, not stole, copied from the popular gaming channel Game Explain. I was like, okay, there's a Game Explain, there is no Anime Explain yet, let me call myself Anime Explain. Then when I started doing reactions, I was like, ooh, let me change that to what can I change it to? Let's change it to Mr. X Reacts, because I'm reacting and I like the X, so I'm gonna keep the X from Anime Explain and call myself Mr. X Reacts. So we got here, calling it the X Room, which is kind of a terrible name again, but we are where we are. There is no real topics that we're going to discuss here. I did post on the community page a few days ago, a week ago actually, a week ago today, that I was going to do this podcast. Well, again, there's no real topics. It's always just like whenever I feel like talking, whenever I have like an hour or so and just feel like talking, that's basically when you can expect this. All right. So let me actually start with by going through the questions that people have asked, which has only been three questions. The first one comes from Mackenzie Critiques, who you all should honestly be subscribed to. If you're not subscribed to him, I don't know why. But the first question is, do you ever wish the world would just end? You know what, this is a serious question, so let's turn off the fan, because this requires serious mode. Do I ever wish the world would just end? I'm the kind of person that always thinks negatively, but always acts positively. I don't know whether that comes across the way I want it to, but that's how I am, right? So I'm the kind of person, I always think of like, how could the world end? If there was a meteorite coming right now, what could I possibly do to survive? If the Yellowstone volcano, super volcano, was about to erupt, what could I possibly do to survive? If there was a natural disaster, what could I possibly do to survive? If somebody broke in right now, I thought about it quite a lot. What could I possibly do to survive if their intent was to kill me? I always think about these kind of things. Like, again, I always think negatively, but always like act positively. Again, best way to come across. Now, in case somebody were to come in, I have a pair of scissors lying around. If somebody has a gun or anything, I don't know how you would get a gun in the UK, in all honesty. In the UK, it's more likely that they would have a knife or acid for some reason. But if they did have any of that sort, I've got a fighting scissor, alright? I wouldn't just lay down and do nothing. I'd be like, you know what? But, yeah. To go back to the topic, though, do you ever wish the world would just end? No. I quite like this world. I quite like the people in this world. Yes, it's messed up. Yes, it's not perfect. Will it ever be perfect? No, because humans are flawed, and considering that, our main, at least in my eyes, the main thing for me is humans, and considering humans are flawed, in a sense that, we associate ourselves as human, we, communicate with humans. Our world is basically humanity. If you really want to talk about it, do you ever wish the world would just end? It's basically saying, do you ever wish humanity would just end? Because that's a way you could look at it. And no, I like the flaws of humanity. For example, I know my flaws. I'm cocky. I'm arrogant. I'm big-headed. Sometimes justified. A lot of times I'm not. And I'm sticking to what I am, and the reason for that is actually quite simple, because those are my flaws, and I like my flaws, Again, I'm cocky, I'm arrogant, big-headed, But I also consider myself humble in many ways, which is why I think I'm flawed. Because I feel like I wouldn't be flawed if I stuck to one direction, not the group, but like one direction strongly. But I'm kind of just like, depending on my mood, sometimes I can be the most cocky person ever. Depending on my other mood, I could be like the most humble person ever. I'm very, very much always on like the edge for everything really. Like I'm on the edge of happiness or on the edge of disaster, you know, that kind of thing. And I like the flaws. It makes it all interesting. They do say that, you know, everything in life is filler, but you gotta make it good filler. So that's my response to that. Do you ever think the world? Do you ever wish the world would just end? No. Again, with as much brutality, cruelty, and everything that's going around, of course, one could always look at the one could only focus on the negatives. There's plenty of that going around. But if you only think about the negatives, you're never going to enjoy the positives. And there's so much positivity going around that, you know what? I love it. I love it. That's just the way I see it. I absolutely love living. I'm not tied to the idea of living. Like, if I were to die tomorrow, tomorrow would be pretty bad. But if I were to die, say, I don't know, 10 years from now, cool. I'll have had a good life. I'll have had a lot of fun. I'll have made a lot of, I'll have been in a lot of people's memories. I'll have made myself a lot of memories. You know, I'd be okay. I wouldn't be satisfied considering I have a lot of goals that I want to achieve, but I wouldn't look at it negatively. You know, I mean, obviously I'd be dead, but you know, you get the point, right? You know, that's my mentality. Like if it happens, cool. I'm not gonna complain too much because I've had a lot of good memories already. But I would personally love to have a few more, just a few more, right? Again, that's just my thoughts, though. You know, I know a lot of people will have different thoughts. They only see negativity, or there is not much positivity in their lives. So, you know, they're only surrounded by negativity, which is fine. Also, of course, a lot of people have their ups and downs. We've all had our ups and downs. For example, I'm generally very, very positive, but it was a spell of about a year and a half more, like, but give or take a year or so, where I was very, very depressed. You know, for a year, that's quite a long time. But I got over it. The world is now a better place, and everything is just better. But that was like 1 year. Just 1 year. I was like, everything is just terrible. I don't know what I'm doing, so on and so forth. There is no point doing X. There's no point doing Y. I'm just gonna continue until I actually sat down and was like, what the hell am I saying? Back then I was like 16. What the hell am I saying? The world's over at 16. When I'm 32, I might have, you know, midlife crisis, but not at 16. Come on now. There's so much I can do. There's so much I can see. There's so much that that I can, you know, experience. Get this nonsense out of my head. That's basically what I told myself, and I was just like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm back to normal. Okay, we're back to normal. We're A-okay now. We're just partying, your disco party, and that was that. So if you always see me happy, you know why, right? I had a very bad phase for about a year or so. Sometimes I exaggerate that a little bit. It was give or take a year. To a varying degree, of course. Sometimes it was really, really bad. Sometimes it was less bad. But after that, I was just back to normal. Back to normality, which for me, normality is just being me. I know that's pretty terrible. I'm a terrible person. So being me is just terrible. But damn, that's that. To answer your question, there you go. All right. Yeah. Uchiha Shadow asks, what made you choose law as a study major, and what else were you thinking you consider, and what else were you thinking you considering? Well, okay, I get what you're trying to say, bro, but yeah, you gotta fix that spelling a little bit, bro. Why did I choose law? You know, when I went to college in the UK, for those guys don't know, you do high school. Well, you do your secondary school, high school for Americans, right? You do your secondary school until you're 16, and then you go to college. You choose up to 4 subjects, and then after that, you go to university, where you then choose 1 subject, you know, that you want to major in. So I had pretty good grades. I always like. I love talking about it because it's like one of my proudest moments in my life, back in high school, back in secondary school. Not because I got the grades that I did, but more so the reason why. It's a very stupid reason, but I always like talking about it because I feel it's also a very great reason. A friend of mine was the smartest person in the school. Now, like, straight up, he was like the smartest person in the school. But he was just, like, he was good at everything that he did. Sports, good. You know, maths, good. English, good. Like everything. Science, good. So on and so forth, right? And like back then, I was like, I'm not like gonna let him beat him, right? Like if he got like an A star and everything in year 10, basically like whatever you get in year 10, it carries over into year 11. In like year 11, you can still do the exams. If you get a better grade in year 11, then that's the grade that you'll have. If you've got a better grade in year 10, then that's the grade that you'll have on your exams. And he got like, I think it was 97. I'm never really sure about the numbers, but I think he got like 97 out of 100 on like each of his exams or something. And I was like, I'm not like, gonna let him beat me. Like straight up, I'm not just gonna like be the person that just gets like a B or something while he's like there like getting A stars and everything with like 97 out of 100. You know, I'm not gonna let that happen, right? And him getting awards like, oh, I'm the smartest person, you know, in this area and whatnot. I was like, I'm not gonna allow that. So for about a year, I tried. That's the only year in my life where I can say I studied every single day for multiple hours a day, right? So that year I was like, I'm not gonna like I saw him as a rival, which is why I always like rivalries so much. But I saw him as a rival, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat him. And like straight up, I'm gonna get higher grades than him. I don't even care about the grades itself. Like if I get an A or an A star, doesn't matter. I just want to get higher grades than him. So I ended up like getting like 98 out of 100 and everything, pretty much. Back then, I was at my smartest. I'm not that smart now. I'm an idiot right now, right? But back then, for that 1 year, like I was like, we did an IQ test actually. He got like that was like year 10, so I was like 15 years old, 15 to 16 years old, like just before I was 16. So yeah, we did an IQ test. I got like he got, I think it was 112, and I think mine was like 124. So I had higher than him in year 10. I was like, oh, I've got higher than you. I'm gonna hold that over you forever. But he had the better grades. So year 11 was like, okay, I'm gonna get the better grades in year 11. Let's do this. And somehow I like got better grades than him. I got like just about higher than him on everything. He's now studying a medicine degree. I think right now he'd be in his fourth year, 4 out of 5 years, and then he's doing his whatever you call it. I can't remember right now. But like he's doing medicine, right? And for me, like it's considering I saw him as a rival, I chose law. Honestly. For three reasons, right? 3 reasons. 2 of them are big reasons. The third one is just like there, right? The 2 big reasons why I chose law to study, you know, continue studying law, and then ultimately do a degree in law. And right now I'm doing my master's in law. Not particularly to like to work as a lawyer, or solicitor, barrister, judge, you know, all these kind of things. Not particularly because of that reason, but more so because I've always been interested in law, because I feel like it's everywhere and I want to do something that I can apply to everything. Obviously the law is always changing, but just having that general knowledge of things. For example, you can see on the board right now ECHR Article 10, which would be the right of expression. Like these kind of things, like just these random things that you know, like what you can do, what you can't do, how things happen, how things proceed, because the law is everywhere. That's why I chose it, because it's a fascinating subject in my opinion. It's not that great, right? For those guys who are thinking about picking up law, it's not that great. Some things are very, very good. For example, human rights is one of the best subjects you can ever do. Then you've got something like tort, which people either absolutely love or people absolutely hate. Criminal law, which is pretty much the favorite for every single one. Like everyone loves criminal law because it's so interesting. You know, you learn about murder cases, ABH cases, GBH cases, all that kind of good stuff, all that exciting stuff. But the thing is, it's the least paid subject. So if you're gonna become like a criminal defense solicitor, you're not making that much money. It's just the way it is. You know, like it's the least paid law subject. You might be making UK terms maybe, I don't know, 26,000. Whereas like if you take something like, I don't know, business law, you could be making triple that. You know, at minimum. That's basically what I'm saying. So it's the thing that people love the most. For example, criminal law, but it's the one that pays the least, which is obviously a lot of people go into it because you know they want a successful career. Not so much for me. For me, it was more so one, I loved law. Because it's everywhere, it's all around us, it's just there, you know, it's always going to be part of your life, essentially. 2, I watched Detective Conan as a kid. I wanted to become a detective as a kid. Then I was like, you know what, I'm not going to become a detective. Sherlock Holmes, you can see right about here, massive book of Sherlock Holmes. I've got like 2 more Sherlock Holmes books like right here, somewhat not there, the one below. But I've got like 5 Sherlock Holmes books, honestly. My hero growing up as a kid. I've always been interested in like detectives, police, the kind of criminals, everything, the whole source. I always thought like doing law is going to be fascinating. Obviously, it has very little to do with detective work and whatnot, but the point still stands, alright? And then the third reason, I wanted to have something that's going to be valuable in the future in case my plans don't pan out. And just to talk about my plans are to become a business owner. That's always been my plans. I don't want to work for other people where my hours are already dictated, so I'm gonna earn a certain amount per hour. I hate that model. I hate that so much. That model, like, oh, you're gonna work 10 hours a day. You're gonna let's say you're gonna make £10 an hour, which is pretty real. That's the minimum wage in the UK is like £8.25, so £10 is like not much, but a lot of people live off of that. So I hate that mentality. Like you could be doing your job, right? It could be any job, right? But you could be doing a job. You could be putting so much work in. You could be doing so much. Like you could be going above and beyond. You like, and then the person next to you who's getting paid the same amount per hour, he's just sitting back doing absolutely nothing, but he's getting paid the same exact amount. And that's why I hate that mentality of like getting paid X, Y, and Z per hour. I hate that model, and that's why I always wanted to become a business owner. So I know if I put 20 hours a week in, I'll only get 20 hours back. If I put 100 hours a week in, I'll get 100 hours worth of money back, that kind of thing. So that's always been very, very important to me, which is why my goal has always been to be a business owner. And I thought law, in case that doesn't work, I can always use my law degree, get into a law firm, make enough money, maybe then open my own law firm. It's just one of those things like as a plan C, right? Just in the back of my mind where I know, what, if everything doesn't work out, I've still got that in the back of my, I've still got that ultimately. That's my thing. It won't go anywhere. My degree won't expire. That's not a thing. So I'll be good. I'll be good to go, right? And the other question was, and what else were you thinking to considering? Early on, my mum, she always wanted me to become a doctor, because everyone likes doctors. When you have a son that's like a doctor, it's like, oh, my son is a doctor. You can always show off. Yeah, I didn't like. I would love to be a doctor, like especially like a neurosurgeon, working on the brain or whatnot, or working on the heart. Oh, that would be beautiful. Like just like working on people, saving people, being important, basically. Having the power to essentially decide life and death. Damn, I sound like such a freak, but you get the point. Like I always wanted to have like responsibility on my shoulders, which is why I guess business owner works, but having that responsibility on my shoulders has always been one of those things where I'm like, ooh, I like that. So like neurosurgeon or brain surgeon has always been like, ooh, I like that. But I didn't want to become a doctor just because she kept telling me as a kid to become a doctor. What else was I considering? There was so much I was considering. Like if I'm going back like through my timeline, if you want to call it that, as a very young kid, a footballer. I played football as a kid. I wanted to become a football. We're talking about football, proper football, like soccer. Football, right? Proper football. The one that you actually use your foot for, Then, a little older than that, I wanted to become a singer. But because like everyone around me told me to become a singer, because I mentioned this before, but like I had an opera. We had a school. Alright, I'm gonna have to explain this all properly to really get that point across. But like, I was very, very bad in music as a kid. Like, very, very bad in music. And like, we had this thing, like, if you joined the music club, the school choir, your grades would go up by like 1. So like, if you had like a C, it would go up to a B. If you had a B, it would go up to an A. If you had an A, it would go up to an A star. If you had a D, it would go up to a C. And I was very, very bad in music, so I was like, let me just take the easy way here. Instead of like revising or studying, let me just join the school choir and whatnot. And then I went like a school, like a talent show sort of thing. Not talent show, but more like a school festival, if you want to call it that, right? And so like us as the school choir went away for like to like a location for like, you know, like a trip almost for like a weekend or so. And in that weekend, like we were just like you know, trying out songs and whatnot, just like messing around and whatnot. And then like they noticed that I could sing opera. I could go very, very high and very, very low with singing. So then, like, I suddenly became the school choir in that weekend. I didn't become the school choir. I suddenly became the school choir leader in that weekend, and that was me, like, just entering the school choir, just like bump up my grade, right? And then suddenly I was like the leader, and then like the teacher changed the program that we originally had. I felt like it was some like pop song that we were originally gonna sing, but then she changed it to opera, and we sang "Time to Say Goodbye." And like as a kid, like I invited my mum to like 50 different talent shows. So every time there was a talent show, I was like, oh, I'm gonna participate in everything. Like as a kid, it was like juggling. Then it was Diablo. If you guys know what that is, it's like you hold like the two sticks with like a piece of string. You know, you hold them, and then it's like a thing. I don't know really how to explain it. It's like a round thing. Yeah, so such a great description. Like a, you know, if you basically like you play it and then you throw it up, you like do tricks, catch it, do tricks, throw it up, spin it, you know, that kind of thing. I tried it all, right, basically. Then I also did like breakdancing, capoeira. I did everything basically as a kid, right? But every time I asked my mom to like join, she never joined. Like every time we had a talent show, I was like, can you come to the talent show, please? She was like, okay. Didn't show up. And so I was like, this time I was like, sorry, the previous talent show before that, I was like, there's no point inviting you anymore because you never show up. And that's me as a kid. I was like, really mad, like, just, you never show up. You're never there. You whatever, you're just never there. Blah, 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 blah. And so like this time, she was like, okay, I'm definitely going to come to the school festival and whatnot. And then she saw that I was singing. I actually, funny enough, that was the only time I was actually nervous on being on stage. Because like I was in front of everyone, and like the whole choir was right behind me, and like while I was like going up, you know, like this one person was playing like an instrument. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a brass instrument because she was sitting down. She was like, "Damn, this is nervous." I was like, "Nervous? Why would it be nervous?" And then I looked at him. I was like, "Oh shoot, it is actually nervous." So because she said it was actually nervous, that she was nervous, I was like, "Uh oh." Now I'm getting nervous. The first time ever. I've been on stage like 100,000 times, and now I'm getting nervous. What's going on here? But yeah, basically we sang "Time to Say Goodbye," and somebody actually threw a rose at me, like you know, like the typical thing when like you throw a rose at someone who's on stage because they're giving such a good performance. I don't know where they got that rose from. I always think about it now, like where did they get that rose from? Like who just brings a rose to, you know, a festival? But no, like, they actually threw a rose at me and was like, yeah, here, bravo and all that. And I was like, damn, I can sing. And the annoying thing is because that was the only thing that my mum ever showed up for. She was like, okay, you're gonna become a singer. I'm going to make you a singer. You're going to become a singer. You're going to take that talent and you're going to go far with that. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I don't want to become a singer. Because like she was like, okay, I'm going to buy you a microphone. I was like, okay, if you buy me SingStar, I'll become a singer. She bought me SingStar for PlayStation 2. I was like, yeah, I don't want to become a singer. You buy me this microphone and this mixing set, I'll become a singer. So she bought it off and was like, I don't really become a singer, but okay, thank you for that. So I kind of use that, right, in a way. But yeah, singer like for a day, I really considered that just because of that response. Besides that, I always wish I started the piano as a kid. I would have loved to have been a pianist. For those that don't know, I have not a piano, it's a digital piano. When did I start? Like 3 years ago? I've got a YouTube channel, if you want to check it out. You can literally just find it by searching 1 year piano progress, and you'll see my video in like the top 5 search results. It has like 150k. Last time I checked, it had 150k views or so, or 170k. Can't remember. It was a while ago. But like, it's basically like a channel documenting my progress right now. I've been on like a 6-7 months piano break. Just recently started picking up again last month, and it will be my 4-year anniversary in January 2020 will be my 4-year anniversary. But yeah, pianist, I wish I would have started as a kid. One of the things that I always wanted to do, but never really worked. because as a kid, right? And this was a different thing, but as a kid, I played like steel drums. It's not a great instrument in my opinion, but I played that steel drums. I played that for like 2 months just because it would get me out of science. You know, like basically like the music things were happening. You know, in school, it was happening in school, all paid by the school and everything. And like you'd have the lesson like the music hall and whatnot. But like, you know, just playing an instrument would get you out of classes once like the instrument lesson was. So like every time I had science, I'd be like, my music lesson is now, can I leave the class? And the teacher would be like, damn it, yes, go leave and play your stupid instruments. So I basically like did steel drums for like 2 months or so, just so I could be able to get out of class and whatnot. And then like I was like, man, I really want to play the piano. I really want to learn the piano. So I was like, let me, you know, start the piano. Let me join the piano class like next year. And I picked music as like a subject, because you know that was year 10 where you could actually pick your subjects. So I picked music as a subject with the intent of like, okay, I'm gonna now learn piano. But because I had 2 months previously with steel drums, the teacher was like, nah, you already know steel drums. Focus on steel drums, and that way you can get better grades because you already have some knowledge of that. So by the time the performance exam comes around, you can play better pieces than if you were to start the piano now. I was like, the only reason why I picked music was so I could learn the piano. And you're telling me, no. 2 years of my life wasted picking music. That's what it was. I had a lot of like these experiences, honestly. Like for example, I picked ICT, which basically computer, right? I picked computer because we had like because I wanted to learn how to program. I wanted to learn how to make my own game, right? And we had like 2 computer classes, right? And like, you know, the way you start is you start off with like make a website. Well, first of all, you start with like learn Word, learn Excel, you know, learn all like these basic Microsoft programs, right? And then it's like make a website. And at the end of like year 11, it was like learn how to make a game through Game Maker, right? And like the second group, they were like, okay, first you're gonna learn how to make a game, then you're gonna learn how to use Word and Excel and PowerPoint and so on, and then you're gonna learn. For year 11, you're gonna make a website. So like theirs was just slightly different than ours, right? And like so we did like you know, website and so on, and Word, PowerPoint, so on and so forth. Well, they were making a game, right? And I was like, oh, I can't wait for year 11. This is the reason why I picked this course, right? And then year 11, they were like, sorry, we changed the program. You're not going to make a game now. Wasted. Time wasted, alright? There's a lot of things like that, honestly, in my life. Where like I was like, oh, I really want to do X, Y, and Z. And then like X, Y, and Z just doesn't happen. Like something just gets in the way and X, Y, and Z doesn't happen. But yeah, there's a lot of us considering. Funny enough, actually, if I can find it, let me play you a fun clip. It's a random, honestly, the most random thing you'll ever see me doing. It was, as I said, I've been on the stage for a lot. Usually with like me practicing something, you know, me trying to do something, like juggling or like playing something or like, you know, breakdancing, capoeira, all that good stuff. But like this one, I was like, let me just, I don't know what, I don't have anything to do, but it's a talent show. I'm gonna, you know, sign up for it because I always sign up for talent shows in like my school talent shows and whatnot. And this time I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna sing, quote unquote sing. I can't sing anymore, as I always say. You know, once I hit puberty, I couldn't sing opera anymore. I couldn't go high, I couldn't go low. I never really tried to anymore, so that was just gone. But I was like, let me sing Michael Jackson's ABC. And the wheels on the bus go round and round. And I didn't know the lyrics. That's how you know I was underprepared. I didn't know the lyrics. I had the music on a CD. I wanted to use like, you know, the CD as a backing track, yeah, so I could like sing along with it on a talent show. And it turned out the CD was corrupted and it couldn't be played by the CD player. So cool. I was there, just like, okay, I don't know the lyrics to either of these songs. What am I even doing here right now? So this is basically like, it's a very small snippet, honestly. Like very, very small, and you're gonna see a much younger me. But it's a very, very, if you want to call it cool, I don't want to call it cool, but it's a very old thing. Let me just turn the volume up. That you're gonna see. 128. Why is that 120? 1 second. Let me just make sure that's the right video. Yes. Is that 1 minute 28 seconds long? Wow, that's long. I thought it was like 10 seconds, but no. Yeah, you can see that I don't know the lyrics at all. So I'm like, okay, crowd, help me out here, bro, help me out here. I did tell you. I did tell you. I had no reason to be on stage besides the fact that I wanted to. That's really it. At least I should have really revised the songs and whatnot, so I would at least know what I was saying. But that was not the case, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, generally, that's just the kind of person I am. I'd much rather try and fake it than make it. It's more fun that way, I feel like. It's always more fun that way. And it's still the same. If I see a talent show, I just can't resist. I'm like, oh, I need to join, alright? Good stuff. I've got some other videos. Actually, you know what? Let's deviate a little bit and just show you a few videos that will probably get, this video copyright striked or something. But let me just have a quick look at a few things. What things are going on? Alright, so, for those that know, I can't dance to save my life. Like legit, I can't dance to save my life. Despite doing capoeira as a kid, which was like a dance fighting style, I can't dance, alright? I learned, I was there for like 2 years, week to week, every week, and it just didn't work at all, right? But here's something funny that I found, which is probably going to get this video taken down, but let's hope not, alright? Alton. I don't want to show you my... I'm going to stop it right there because I don't want to show you my terrible dancing skills. But this video is like 3 minutes long of just dancing to YMCA. I'm breaking the room. Terrible. Terrible thing. I've got a lot of... you know what? Let me just go through like a few old images or whatnot. What I've got on my computer that I can just see you right now, alright? So... Ooh, some of you may remember this video. I have posted this before multiple times. It was like, I think I uploaded this originally like 5 years ago, I want to say. I'm not sure about the time frame, but it seems that long ago. As I said, I've posted this multiple times before. I posted this when Vinland Saga was announced too. You can tell how young I was back then. If you can't tell by the music and the hat, this was about One Piece going on break and then returning in the following week. Alright, the manga goes on break like after every 5 chapters or so. It might have been older than 5, it might have been like 8 years or so. Two glasses, of course. Some epic dance moves. The dab before it became a dab. Breaking it down for you lot. The smooth moves. I don't know what my legs are doing. That looks so... Look at my legs. They look so smooth. Right, look at my legs. What on earth am I doing? I need to analyze this properly. What on earth are my legs doing here? That's such a good question. Seems like I'm on a treadmill or something. And the frame rate's dropping, of course. Damn. I used to be such a terrible dancer. Straight up. Alright, straight up. Then I've got so many weird videos, honestly. Just so many strange videos. Like this one, for example. I have no idea what I was thinking. I know it was supposed to be for Halloween or something. But I have no idea what this video is about. Just strange, like old videos that just got saved for no reason. Like if you unsub at this moment, right, I would understand. I would straight up understand, alright? Then you've got my epic dart skills. This one, you have to see to believe. My epic dart skill. Again, we're just going through videos right now because I don't know what to talk about. That's really what it boils down to. Trying to look cool. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. If the first one just jumps back out, it doesn't work. This works, however. This works. Let me show you this one. I might turn the volume down just so it won't get copyright striked claimed straight away. This is what you call skills, alright, folks? This is what you call skills. Skills. Something that not a lot of people have. Skills. But I do. I do. Alright. And you've got a very young picture of me. Back when, you know, back when I was like fighting for my life and everything. In the good old days. But nowadays people are too soft. Good old days, you see. Nowadays people, they're just way too soft, you know. They don't know true fear when they see it. Oh, and I've got a picture here of my house. You know, you see my house from the inside right now, but let me show it to you from the outside. Very old picture too. I was quite ill that day, actually. You know, but my two pets, you can see them here, Leo and Geo. You know. Taking care of me, you know, they're good pets, loyal beasts. Very loyal, very loyal, very loyal. Of course, when everyone was doing the straight out of comp meme, I had to join in as well, of course. But I was like straight out of my kitchen because, you know, I was hungry. I want food. Cool. But like there's so much history. There is so much, you know. For example, I was a born winner. I know a lot of you already know that, but I was a born winner. I was winning as a kid. As I said, playing football, I was winning as a kid. It's just the way it is, you know. Once you're a winner, you're always a winner. Not many people know that feeling, but I do. Not many people know that feeling, but I do. But I do. I really, really do. Then you've got the worst picture that's ever been taken. When people, like, that's the worst thing. When people at friggin' school as a kid tell you, can you just tilt your head a little? Just tilt. I can't do it because my neck hurts. But can you just tilt your? I can do it this way, but not. Can you just tilt your head a little bit? You know, just for the picture. So they want you to go like that. And as a kid, I just kind of took it to the extreme. I just kind of took it to the extreme. All right. Just a little bit to the extreme. Just turn my head complete to the side. Cool. Then, of course, they all know me. I'm very famous, you know. One of the most famous people in the world. I mean, that's how you all know me, of course. For my, quote-unquote, elite opinions. But yeah, you know. Very famous words spoken by a very famous person. Me. There's just so much history that I have, you know. So much victory. You know, victory. Speaking of victory, there is my glorious victory. Back in the day, just excellent. No, very difficult to replicate. Nobody will ever be like me. It's very difficult, but we keep trying. As Donald Trump would say, we keep trying. We keep winning. You know, that's what he says. And I think that might actually be it. I used to have like 500 more pictures, but damn, I don't anymore. Where are all my pictures? Why are they all gone? They're all deleted. They're all deleted. I deleted all of them when I thought, you know what, I need to clean up my Facebook. I need to clean up my Facebook, alright? That's when I was like, okay, look, time to delete everything. Time to get rid of all. Time to get rid of everything. Just like save one or two of those things and then just like get rid of it all. Just get rid, alright? Regardless, folks, that was the question that kind of deviated what made you choose law. Then the last question posted by son Bakemonogatari was, who was your first celebrity crush? Well, I've never actually had a celebrity crush. So I can't really say about my first. No, just nobody. Myself. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oof. Don't I look good? Don't I look good, you know? So I'd say myself. My first crush and my first celebrity crush would be myself. Because I'm a celebrity in my heart. As a wise old man once said, you know, I have full appreciation. And then he did there. I can't do it, alright? 99 hand, that's what it's supposed to be, alright? I can't do it, alright? I just look stupid doing that. That's the wrong way. Yeah, who cares? Alright, folks. Very, very, very short. Well, not very short. It's been 45 minutes, which I think should be a good length. It shouldn't be 2 hours long for a podcast. But yeah, that was my podcast. Thank you for everyone that submitted their questions on the community posts. You might want to check out the community posts more often. Oh, damn it! I forgot about it. They're taking the bin right now. Mine is not outside, so they're not gonna take it. I forgot about it. Anyway, thank you to everyone who submitted their questions on the community page. You should check out the community page maybe like once a week or so, just so you can see if there's anything new I posted. I'm going to try and post them more often on the YouTube community page. But yeah, regardless of that, folks, thank you everyone for watching. Let's see what part 3 has in store. Hey, let's see what part 3 of this podcast has in store. We're just going to do random things as always. Just talk about random things. Let's not make it into like a set thing where you have to talk about X, Y, and Z, because there's no point in that. let's just have fun, alright? Anyway, folks, I will see you all next time, everyone. Peace out and have a nice day. Bye.